Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, everyone. I believe it's what 5:10 a.m. this morning. Shout out to the chat. I'm just getting up. I've been up for over an hour now. And I wanted to go through these YouTube streets. And one of the things I love to do, I love to listen to Whitney Houston sing. Yes, I love Adele. I like Beyonce. I like Donna Summer. I like Billie Holiday. I like Eartha Kitt. I even like Grace Jones. Shout out to the chat. But no other song does it for me but the Whitney Houston rendition of I Will Always Love You. And I'm going to give you a quick scenario of why I like that song so much and why Whitney Houston was so important, not only to me, but to a lot of people all over the world. She was revered in the United States, regardless of her abuse of drugs or whatever the case may have been going on in her personal life. I'm not concerned about her personal life. I'm concerned about her singing ability. Yeah, we hear Celine Dion having a certain voice and Mariah Carey having a certain voice, but nothing and no one is like Whitney Houston. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I was locked up in the Department of South Carolina Corrections. This was years ago. I went in 1995. I left. I maxed out my sentence in 2001. So I did 6 years, 7 months. But during that time period, I had spent some time in the SHU program. For those of you who don't know what that is, the SHU program is basically the belly of the beast. It is the jail within the jail. Okay? When you commit certain infractions of the rules or whatever is going on, that's where you fucking go. Shout out to the chat. And that's reality. I want to thank everyone for coming over and visiting my channel. Like and share the video. Shout out to the chat. We see what's going on all across the United States. The protesting, the riots, what's going on over there in Europe, what's happening in Africa, what's happening in the Middle East, what has happened in the past, the history of this country, the history of America. Shout out to the chat. But I'm going to tell you what happened. I was living in the SHU program at Leith Correctional Institute. Leith Correctional is located in Greenwood, South Carolina. It's a ways from here. Shout out to the chat. I'm going to tell you where it's close to. It's close to Greenville, South Carolina. That's where it's close to. Anyway, to make a long story short, there were lockup units on lockup specifically designed to hold and house closed custody inmates around that time. So not only did you have people that were sitting on lockup serving out little bids or whatever the case may have been, you had people in a custody level system that was deemed undesirables, uncontrollable, rejects. I don't know how you're an inmate and you're rejected by the same system that is incarcerating you. But anyway, let's go on. There was one particular female, a young woman. I want to say her name, but I think it's unnecessary. I want to say her name, but I think it's unnecessary. It's not going to help give conclusion to the story. But anyway, there was one particular night, everyone was on lockup. There was a lot of shit going on the compound and on certain units, whether it be the Montague building, whether it be any of the other buildings that were there at least. And the closed custody inmates came in. Now, when they entered into this unit, they each had to go into a private room and strip search. They did strip searches on these women. After they were strip searched, they were allowed to go into their cells. After a few minutes, the COs would, give them a chance to go into the shower area so they can take a shower. Shout out to the chat. Anyway, they kept asking that young woman to sing while she was in the shower. So she said, let me think of the song I'm going to sing, you guys, and I will sing while I'm taking a shower. They gave you 15 minutes to take a shower. She picked the song, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Let me tell you something. When that woman started singing, everything on that floor, in themselves, even the correctional officers stopped what they were doing to listen to her sing that song. And she had a beautiful voice. The most beautiful voices are usually locked up. They're incarcerated. Shout out to the chat. When she was finished and she was escorted back to her cell, they locked her in. Those women in that unit clapped their hands, they cheered, they cried. And people say, when you enter the belly of the beast, you are in the pits of hell. And I'm going to tell you something. There were times when we was in that SHU program, and yes, we had to experience a lot of things that happened that was wrong. There was a lot of mistreatment on that unit. There was a lot of things that happened. And I also remember that same young woman, she would sing in the morning, she would sing in the afternoon. But she would only sing that song once a week. And usually it was her girlfriend that had to request the song. So whenever I hear that song, that shit takes me fucking back. I remember Whitney Houston. I remember when Whitney Houston first came out with the first couple of albums she came out with. And I was not even 13, 14 then. As I got older, Whitney Houston became a more prevalent singer. Whitney Houston became Whitney Houston. And I didn't give a fuck if she was on drugs. I didn't give a fuck if her marriage was all fucked up. I didn't give a fuck about her personal life. I just gave a fuck about the talent that she had. Even though that woman died in 2012, she's been dead a long time now. People still play her music. People still celebrate Whitney Houston. I see them celebrating Whitney Houston more than any other celebrity. Yes, they play Michael Jackson. Yes, they play Prince. But they play Whitney Houston the most. They play Whitney the most. So shout out to the chat. Just wanted to come in real quick. And I saw that other video, the one that's on TikTok where the black dude was asking that computerized program the question he asked. Yo, y'all check that out. That's right there on YouTube. It's a young lady. She's doing the video. She's how you doing? She's doing a reaction. Shout out to the chat. See, there's a lot of people in this sector that don't do reactions like that. They want to do reactions about gossiping about somebody. I could care less what other people do. We got a lot of problems in this sector. And we got a lot of talented people that hide their talent because they want to bow down to someone else that might not have the same talent. It is what it is. It's happening. It's happening in real life. It's happening on YouTube, all over social media. Different people have different talents. And some people just don't want you to showcase your talent. They want you to be quiet. They want you to follow after them. I'm telling you, a lot of people need to start being independent, break away from these groups or that group thinking or that group riding. Those days are over and done with. Y'all need to come from out of them shadows and stand on your own 2 feet, 10 toes down. And I don't care if you lose all your friends. I don't care if you lose all your associates. I don't care if you lose your support system. If you're going to lose people because you want to stand independently, then those people were never your friends in the first place. They were just using you. Shout out to the chat.